time to heal and feel, be real. You just gotta take your time, unwind and chill. Cause now it's time to love yourself. Build emotional and mental health. Cause Black woman, it's time to heal and feel, be real.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Black Women Healing Podcast. And today we have another special guest. Today we have Nilla Allin. She's an electrifying force in the music world, primarily recognized as a dynamic rapper, singer, and songwriter, hailing from vibrant Los Angeles. With her infectious confidence and relatable lyrics, Nilla has carved out a significant niche with the hip hop scene, representing the emerging wave of talented female MCs. Her unique blend of personal storytelling and undeniable charisma has not only captivated audiences, but also set her apart as a trailblazer in the industry. In addition to her music career, Nilla came to prominence through her captivating TikTok comedy skits, amassing a dedicating following that exceeds 920,000 fans. This cross-platform appeal showcases her multidimensional talent, combining humor with extraordinary vocal skills that are truly one of a kind. With her recent foray into vinyl culture, Nilla's music is now not only available digitally, but is also capturing the heart of vinyl collectors, making a significant impact on both the music and vinyl scenes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a hell of an intro. Like, thank you so much. I love it.
Look, the bio speaks for itself.
Hello.
I just read it. That's it.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Of course. So we're so excited to have you, and
I'm so happy to be here.
Absolutely. And so if you've listened to Black Women Healing Podcast, something we do is an icebreaker called This or That.
Okay.
And so this is gonna be a good one, y'all. Okay, so this or that, and I say this because all of us at this point we live in LA, you know about it. So if you had to choose between Gardena and Inglewood, which
don't make me do that.
Yes.
Don't make me do that.
I couldn't wait to ask this, y'all. I couldn't wait. Gardena or Inglewood?
You gotta hear me out though. You gotta hear me out.
Only a transplant would ask that.
Okay.
That's so
It's good.
I have a good explanation because I really want to say Inglewood, like that's been the bulk of, but I gotta go with Gardena. Only cause when I think about, okay, y'all know I'm very I'm multicultural too. I love my sushi. I love my boba. Gardena has a lot of different vibes. You could get your soul food, but you could also, they got great sushi, great ramen, great boba, pokey.
I just had some Korean barbecue the other day.
I mean, come on now. Come on.
I did.
I will say, like, when it comes to, actually, no, because I'm like, I was going to say I'm in Gardena, but no, that's not true, because I'm for sure in Inglewood more. But I feel like I have a lot of low-key spots in Gardena.
Woo!
I hated that. I hate you made me do that.
It is hard.
I hate you made me do that.
You did good.
Girl, you see I'm over here sweating? That was hard. That was only question one. Damn.
You did good. Myra, I think you should go next.
Why couldn't you ask something like, do we want down to the booty braids or a
right?
Yeah, that was good too. That was good. But this one, I think we needed this.
I have the most obvious answer, Donika. Come on now.
You're gonna say Inglewood.
Born and raised, yes. What?
Whoop.
You know what? I'm not. So I see both. It's because it is hard.
That's hard.
What's interesting is if we're thinking of food, And culture, I actually like the different cultural foods, definitely Gardena. Like you're gonna get more variety.
For sure.
Like when I think of Inglewood, like you gonna get some spots, but as far as the variety pieces, like I mean, I live in Inglewood. This is the only place, by the way. Yeah, like so I'm a transplant. And so I'm from Kentucky.
Oh, that's why she was getting on you. Where are you
I'm
from?
from Kentucky. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, a whole nother place. But y'all know what's funny is my decade here in California in general is going to be in May. So,
Wow.
right, I get to say a little
Congratulations.
something. Thank you. I get to say a little something. But in thinking of it, I think like Inglewood actually has some good African food, like Nigerian food, Jamaican spots, Ethiopian spots. You can find a little soul food, but kind of like when it was saying, like you're not gonna see as many of like the Korean barbecues. You're not gonna see as much as those spaces. And I think you can find soul food spots in Gardena too, though. You can find all of those things as well. So if we thinking food, which we love food, Gardena, if we thinking like cultural pieces,
And like also too, like I
walking
gotta
down the street seeing us,
no, right. Well, it also it depends on where you at in
it
Garcia.
depends on where you at.
Gosh.
I'm gonna choose Inglewood too.
Okay, I get you. That's a good one. That's a good.
I would choose.
I love about Inglewood is when you walk down the street and you see another Black person, they're gonna compliment you. Like they're gonna
Absolutely.
point out something.
They gonna talk. They talk.
Something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so much. It's so much. It's so much here.
The community goes crazy more in Inglewood for sure.
Exactly.
When we talk about if we talking community, see, this is why it's hard. You know, like we talking community for sure, Inglewood.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both. I mean, come on.
But the reason why I asked that question is because, and watching some of your vlogs, I know that you're from both, right? Like both
Mom's house, dad's house. Yep.
exactly. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yep. So I was going back and forth. So that's hard. That's hard.
I knew it was going to be a hard one, but I was like, we got to do this. It was good. If y'all not from LA, not from California, when you come visit, you got to check out both Gardena and Inglewood.
For sure.
Chime in and let us know what y'all think.
For sure.
All right. So, and get into some of these questions. So today we're going to be talking about navigating life challenges and being a Black woman in the music industry. So starting with being a Black woman in the music industry, it can be very challenging. So how do you navigate moments of doubt or adversity while staying true to yourself and your healing journey?
So it's crazy because I've been on like a spiritual journey, and I feel like the timing hits so perfect. And I have a lot of check-ins with myself. And whenever I'm going through something or I feel like that doubt or that lack of confidence, I really check in with myself and I ask, why am I feeling this way? Because when we think about it, doubt, you have faith and you have doubt, but doubt is really just having faith in the opposite of what you want, right? So having faith is believing in what you want, and doubt is having faith in the lack and the opposite. So I have to ask myself, okay, well, if I'm feeling doubt because I'm believing in, or maybe my focus, isn't where it needs to be, then I kind of got to check myself where it's like, okay, I more so need to focus on the positive outcome that I want rather than the negative outcome that I'm focusing on, So I have a lot of check-ins with myself. And then, I just remember that like, as long I'm doing all this for me, and a lot of times we look at, there's really no such thing as failure, because if you're not trying, then you're failing. So I kind of just check in with myself and remember that as long as I'm still here and I'm giving it my all and I'm trying and I'm doing my best, then it is never a fail, because it's only gonna push me to where I need to be, and everything is a blessing or a lesson. So yeah, I have to whip myself into check, because it's whenever we have doubt or fear, it's always in the mind. So that's where we got to clear it.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a word. Okay, so let's get into how you deal with societal pressures while embracing yourself and celebrating just who you are as a Black woman.
Ooh, man, because that's a good one. That's a good one, especially being a female rapper. Like when we talking about societal pressures, in the music industry. But I think that's really what makes me different because I go so hard for myself that like it really doesn't matter what other people think. And I've actually taken I decided to kind of take a step back from the industry because I really feel like whenever I'm put in a place and I don't feel value or I don't feel worthy, I don't feel loved, or I feel like this is really, really difficult and this isn't sticking, I kind of look at it as a sign like, well, maybe I need to take a different route and go a different direction. I don't feel like I need to prove myself to anybody in any industry. And so I actually don't feel like I'm in the music industry. I feel like I'm kind of doing, my own thing. I'm building my own community. I'm doing what I love. And I wake up every day, excited to do what I do, which is create. I'm a creator. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a community leader. I have my fan base, the wafers, the wafers, they look up to me because I'm inspiring and they're getting value from what that I have to offer them. And that's just, that's where my focus lies. So when it comes to looking at an industry or I feel like the industry is all about proving your validation. You want the numbers, you want the Grammys, you want the awards, you want the flowers. But I think a lot of times you can get wrapped up in that and you look for your flowers from the wrong individuals. The way that I see it is my fan base, like, they give me my flowers every day, and I feel loved in my community. So when it comes to societal pressures, again, I got to check myself where like, okay, it's time to unplug from this because this isn't where I want to be, and mentally it's not feeling good. So I got to redirect my energy to what feels good.
Yeah, I love that. I'm curious, how has this whole journey been for you as far as like navigating friendship? Because like me and my friends, we watch your videos all the time. We talk about you all the time. But then there's also that part where like, I'm like, wait, her friends are in her videos, but I'm wondering, what does it look like when you have struggles and things like that and you're in the public eye? How is friendship enmeshed in that, if that makes sense?
That definitely makes sense. And that's a great question. It's really been very easy. Because I have real friendships. Like everybody around me, they're from, like, my closest friends are from elementary school. We went to preschool together. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, and even my makeup artist, I met my makeup artist who's also my closest friend. I met her in 3rd grade. And we've been locked in since, we was like 7 years old. And it's crazy because she started doing makeup around the same time that I started rapping. And a lot of times what you realize, like I said, it's been so easy, but I realized too, God has blessed me with these friendships because it's like he knew that I wasn't going to go the signed rapper route. So he blessed me with talented friends too, who have been a part of my team. Like even down, I have friendships who, the homegirl's a photographer, we'll link up, we'll do content days and stuff. Like I said, my other homegirl is a makeup artist. I have another friend, she does event planning. So I'm thinking about bringing her on the team. And we grew up on the corner with each other in Gardena. She literally lived right down the street from my mom's house. And so we grew up together, and she does, like I said, she does event planning. So when it comes to hosting shows and planning, those community events for my fans, she definitely gonna be on the team putting it together. And it's dope because I'm just a genuine person. And I think my friends, I know that my friends reflect that energy because a lot of times people, there was this quote actually that I learned, and it was, everywhere you go, there you are, or something like that. And interesting, right? And so it basically talks to the fact that, wherever you go, wherever problems follow, if you keep, encountering the same problems, the same individuals, sometimes you got to take a look in the mirror and it's like, okay, what am I doing to attract these type of situations or these type of environments? And I put a lot of love out there. I'm a genuine person, a real person. And I feel like I absolutely get that back, and I attract genuine friendships and, genuine individuals. And I'm like, yeah, they see my success, and we all going up. They're rooting for me. They truly are rooting for me. And I haven't switched up. You have a lot of people too where they'll start getting clout, they'll start getting fame, and they'll start, switching up on their day ones. But yeah, I always make room and make time for friends and family. I also, like, I never want to get so, like, tunnel vision into work where I don't have time for my loved ones and the people around me. And my friends are also super understanding. Like, they understand that I'm busy. I did have to set some of them straight though, because girl, because there was some times, like, I went through a period of time where I was really grinding and stuff. But again, like I said, like, I have time management. I know when to chill. Like, I'll put it up. But I noticed I wasn't getting invited to a lot of things. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And they'll be like, oh, well, you're so busy. But, well, let me make that decision. Like, at least extend the invite to Nilla and let me decide. Because you don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm posting every day, but half of my shit be scheduled, like, so I know there's an illusion that, yes, okay, I'm going hard in the paint, but I definitely want to make sure that I'm prioritizing those relationships with friends and family.
Yes. Thank you for expanding on that, because I was really curious.
Yeah.
But also shout out to your people around you too, because I think it also like shows that they are growing too, because that's the piece of it. I think that's how, like, those childhood friends keep going, is because everybody's growing. Like you just said, they're creatives, they're doing their thing. Everybody is growing around you, which also speaks, like you said, to how you're showing up. You kind of are seeing that in everybody around you. So shout out to your people.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you.
I'm curious how you hope your music impacts other Black women who may be on their healing journey.
Wait, one more time.
How do you feel like, or how do you hope for your music to impact women that are on their healing journey? Black women in particular.
Honestly, I hope that, okay, because I'm a storyteller, and I love songs that tell stories. Like, my favorite song is probably Gotta Run, and Embarrassing are up there for me, out of all my songs. Because, like I said, I love the art of storytelling, and I love the fact, that, like, we can resonate, we can resonate with other people through stories and shared experiences. So I really want other Black women to realize that they are the prize. I also too hope that they realize through my music to always follow their joy, follow their peace. I am very much like woman empowerment in my music, and it's a different type of woman empowerment that I feel like isn't showcased in today's generation. A lot of the music when it comes to female rap, and when we hear about women empowerment, it always has to be sexual. But more so in my music, I just want another Black woman to realize that she's the prize, and you need to always be putting yourself first. And yeah, and like I said, following your joy, following your peace, and not having it, I feel like music too is, when it comes to woman empowerment, I feel like the focus is on the male gaze, or, what the male wants. But, I'm like, this is our world. Let me tell you what I want and what I need. And you ain't even really got it. You ain't even in the equation, because I'm going to be good whether you're here or not.
I love Conceited by Remy Ma, and I feel like Shining on Bitches Like Edison is like my equivalent.
I love it.
Although you might not think of that as like something to listen to on your healing journey, for me, that's
period. Yeah. That was one of my faves too on my healing journey.
Yes. What I'm thinking about is, so like you said, you're creative. you have your hands in so many different things. You're letting your art flow through you however it needs to. And so one of the platforms being social media, and with vlogging, you're putting some of your personal pieces, like I'm hearing the branding as well. I love it. The wafers, like that is so dope.
Thank you.
But in thinking about that, I'm sure you have trolls sometimes, of people who say negative things. Like, how do you handle that?
It really don't bother me none. Now, I had to get to that point. To where it really, and again, I realized this, especially, man, that spiritual journey is really what put me into shape. Because when you are healing, and finding yourself, then you realize the root to a lot of, and you understand, you understand what's going on. So like, for instance, when I see those hate comments and I see trolls being ignorant, I look at it as, obviously for you to write that comment, you are not in the best place in your life. And I'm in a really great space. So, it's going to have to take me to get out of my happy place to meet someone else at that level. And you really have to prioritize your peace and, and your joy enough to realize this has nothing to do with me. That comment is not personal, because people don't know. They don't know me. They don't know me personally. And everybody is going to have an opinion, but it's never personal. It has more to do with that person on the other side of the screen is going through, what they've experienced throughout their life. And we're taught how to behave really from our past experiences. So I show so much love because I've been given so much love. And I have to understand that there's a lot of people who grew up in this world that was not given with as much love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad, but it's like, if other people, if they've experienced mostly hate, then that's all they know how to spew out. They don't know how to love. So I got to give that person grace, because you know what? If I was in your shoes and I experienced the same life that you experienced, I might be sitting there talking shit about me too. So it really just comes with having understanding that, having that understanding of there's going to be people who wants to bring you down because they see that you're so joyous, and your joy is going to piss off angry people, but that's why you're angry. And I'm not. So it is what it is. Especially like for me, I've like been able to really decide, like disconnect, I guess. Is that what it's called? I've been able to disconnect to where it's like, okay, I'm a business at the end of the day. Like at this point, I'm a professional, I'm a business. So let's say Coca-Cola, they got a billboard up somewhere. You think Coca-Cola gonna take their billboard down because someone drove past it and said, I would never buy Coca-Cola, I like Pepsi? No. Them niggas is making money regardless. There's somebody on that freeway who like Coca-Cola, and they ain't gonna buy it. So I have to realize, whatever troll is commenting on my page, first of all, this content is not for you, but I gotta, hit a couple, let's say if I hit a couple potholes getting to my destination, I'm not finna just stop driving because I hit a pothole. I still gotta get to where I need to be. So I feel like those hate comments are like little potholes in the road. You might hit one, it might be a little bumpy, and then you want to turn down your music, but bitch, I'm still rolling. I gotta get to where I need to be.
Gotta keep going, yeah.
Going. It is what it is. Especially like once I started getting paid from my content. Oh yeah, hate me. That's that engagement. It's look, because you're gonna get paid on it regardless. Go ahead, love me or hate me. I'm just here to do my job.
That too. No, I love that. Like the acknowledgement of like, yeah, one is not, like you said, it's not personal. Most of the time these people don't know you. Like it's not personal, and usually that's a reflection of what they got going on.
Absolutely.
I love that. But also, like you said, absolutely, like bring me the engagement. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
And then it's been like so many times where, I mean, these people are so fickle, and they just type, because there's been so many times where I've responded and they did not have that same energy, because
I
they
was
never,
gonna ask you that. You have, and then they didn't bring it back. They'd be like, "Oh, thank you so much. I just wanted to say."
yes.
I've seen it happen on so many folks' stuff. Like,
Yes. So it's funny. It's funny.
that is so wild. Okay, that's beautiful the way you're handling that, and also speaks to your spiritual journey that
Yes.
you're on. So as a creative, you have all these different pockets. You have your merch, you have your vlogging, your music. Have you ever had a creative block, like where you don't know what to do, you don't know what's next, your juices are not flowing? And if so, like, what have been the things you've done to move through it?
So absolutely. I only have blocks with music. And I don't like, what content ideas will come to me all day long. I only have creative blocks with music because sometimes I just don't know what to say, and I feel like it's when the music is forced. So for example, I think a lot of people, there's a lot of artists out there dropping forced music, which is why, in my opinion, hip hop has kind of been on a little decline. Because I feel like as a creative, really what you want to do, you don't want to create out of survival. You want to create out of inspiration. And I feel like there has been times where it's like, okay, well, I need to drop a song. It's been a while I haven't dropped a song. Let me drop a song. And then I'll try to write something and I won't get anything because I'm forcing it. It's not like it's not it's not anything that I got inspired by and then, did my writing process. So a lot of times I have to step away, but that's why I have blogging and I'm doing this and I have the merch and I have this, because as long as I have an outlet, then the creativity is going to flow, which is why it's like, I know, yes, of course I'm a rapper, but I like thinking of myself as a content creator, and music is just a form of content that I create, just like vlogs, just like, short form, my TikToks, the skits or whatever. So I'm just a very creative individual, and I've always needed an outlet. But the minute I do just music, I'm going to be unhappy because I'm going to run into that block. Or the minute that I do just content, I'm going to be unhappy because I'm going to need something else. I don't like that monotonous type of, style of creating. So that's why with my content, you really never know what you're going to get. It might be a vlog. It might be music. I might be like, you know what? I want to do a how to swim YouTube video. And, I'll post that on my channel. I really just, my whole goal was freedom. And leaving my job, I was smart enough, and I'm happy that I had the experience of working a 9-to-5, because leaving my 9-to-5, when I did get approached by a deal, I realized I might not be happy here, because although I'm going to be an artist, I'm still going to have a job, because being an artist, a signed artist, you're just an employee to the label, So instead of me being an employee to the engineering company, I'd be an employee to the label. And I need to realize, okay, I don't want to be an employee. I want to be able to get up and have my freedom and do what the hell I want to do. And if I want to post a vlog, or if I want to post a song, or if I want to travel to Japan and stay out there for a month, I can do that, So that's really, freedom is absolutely been the focus for me. Was there a second part of that question? I feel like that was it.
Creative freedom. That's what it sounds like.
Yes.
Anytime that you have a block, if you just have the freedom and you start,
I gotta step away. Step away from it, and then because you know what? I feel like I'll have like this creative, pounce that's inside of me, and then I'll say, okay, well, let me start writing a song. Let me do. If that doesn't come easy, okay, maybe that's not the medium that I want to, use today. But maybe it's creating a video, and then it flows so easy, and then it goes viral across all platforms. I'm like, okay, so that's what it was supposed to. That's what it was. It was it was that video trying to come out of me.
that. Thank you for bringing all the good vibes. As we wrap up, we always ask if you have any takeaways for our listeners. So I'll hand it over to you.
Absolutely. Takeaway I would say is I truly do believe that we are on earth to build the life that we love. We don't have to see one thing and just replicate that. Cause I see a lot of times, especially with artists, we see signed artists, we see them with a lot of money, and we think that that's what we want. When in actuality, everything that glitters isn't gold. But let's say if I see an artist and I'm like, you know what? Megan Thee Stallion inspires me as a college student to want to rap. I can take that rap, do my raps, and then let's say if I look at someone else and I say, De'Ara is a lifestyle influencer that inspires me. I want to take some of that too. You know what? Let me rap because I like to rap. Let me also travel and create content because I like to travel and then let me make the Nilla Allin brand encompass everything that I am passionate about and not just taking somebody else's brand and implementing it so it could work. Oh, it blew her up so it could blow me up too. But we are really here to really build the life that we want to love. And I don't think that you have to sacrifice your happiness in order to make good income. I don't think you need to sacrifice your freedom. I really believe that you can have it all, but you first have to believe it yourself.
Yes. What a word. You inspired us to go to Japan, so we going in 3 months.
Yeah! You said in a month?
3 months.
April. Yeah.
That's fire. And I was like, I'm tired of seeing this. I can't watch no more unless we're going. And she was like,
okay, y'all gotta get my travel guide. I did a whole travel guide. Kyoto, Osaka, and Tokyo.
Okay.
Yes. Fire.
Well, that's it for this week's episode of Black Women Healing Podcast. And thank you again for joining us.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.